Hi, I'm David and welcome to my channel. I want to do a quick video to remind you that you do not have to respond to every message that you receive. And the reason why I want to do a video about this was because I feel like it's something that a lot of people like myself forget from time to time. Well, not from time to time, but oftenly. And because I feel this, this need or desire to respond to every message, I sometimes feel like this could also at the same time trigger some anxiety within myself. So I want to do a quick video to possibly help anybody else who could possibly struggle with that same feeling. So just to provide some clarity, what I mean by message, I mean messages from any source, whether it's email, text messages, whether it's on social media, whether it's on apps, pretty much anywhere, any source that somebody can send you a direct message. That is what I'm referring to in this video. And the reason why I felt that it was important to make a video like this was because I think, at least for myself, once I learned to relieve myself of the responsibility that I must reply to everything, I feel like a great weight has been lifted off my shoulder. And to be clear, I don't want to say that I'm an expert at ignoring messages, but I just want to help somebody see that ignoring messages is fine too. And I guess I should get more into that just to paint a more, vivid picture or clear picture. But what happens when you ignore a message? Because I think everyone by now, or at least at some point, we're going to be on both sides where we're going to send somebody a message and they're going to ignore it, or somebody's going to send us a message and we're going to ignore it. So let's get into the details of the possible outcomes from that could happen from ignoring the message. Either one, you might piss somebody off. Two, you might make somebody feel like they're less important. Three, you might I hope this is not the case, but there's a chance that you might miss a opportunity or some type of financial gain by ignoring messages. And for me saying all that, of course you shouldn't ignore all messages, but at the same time, the reason why I say that you shouldn't feel the need to respond to every message is, one, at least for me, responding to messages is time consuming. And like I say a lot of times on my podcast, time is one of those resources that we can never get back. So generally speaking, the time that it takes to respond to someone, especially if that person is not viewed as an important person in your life, or even if they're important people in your life. But sometimes I do feel that important people such as family or co-workers might also text, which depending on what the message is about, that's for each individual situation to be judged, to see if it's something that requires a fast response or whether or not it's something that could also be ignored. And I guess it'd be easier for me to talk about this if I was to just talk about some of my feelings and thoughts from the different type of messages I receive. So say if I get a message on an app, I do have an initial reaction to response, and for a while, I think this was in combination of me wanting to be viewed as a nice person to talk to, and I wanted to be liked. And once I finally came to the conclusion that it takes more effort and more time and more of my personal resource to be liked or try to be liked by everyone, I kind of just threw that out the window. It's not worth it. And even in work, sometimes I would hope that if I'm being CC'd on an email, that it's something that's relevant or something important that I need to attend to, or something I need to be aware of. But I've learned throughout my professional career thus far that that's not always the case. I feel that even at work, I have to not completely ignore a message, because generally I read all the emails just to see what the subject, or just to see if it's relevant to anything that might affect my work. But if it's something that's not the case, or if it's just something that I get CC'd on if it's something that I get CC on randomly, then I typically don't respond to it. I might read it, I'm still gonna read it, but I'm just not gonna respond to it, just because that again, it requires to me get more involved than what I would have to be, and if by me becoming more involved, that also is gonna consume, once again, time and resources, which that's something, like I mentioned before, is something I cannot get back. So that's how it pertains to work. And even like, I mean, it sucks to say this, but even when it comes to family sometimes could feel like a more tricky, I guess, situation, depending on like how you and your family might communicate. But I do feel like usually when I get a message from family, I feel like I must respond. But even then, I'm starting to finally get a grip on that it's okay to like also like wait out the message to see how important and relevant it is, and to be able to process whether or not it's something that requires an immediate response, and if it doesn't, it's okay to know those as well. And I'm happy that I'm like finally getting to this point of finally realizing this. And the reason I want to share this video again is because like I said before, I think it's something that we awfully forget. I know recently I forgot myself, where I was, because I have the podcast going on and also having like my business I'm starting, I get constant emails, and I have this knee-jerk reaction to always respond right away, or it stays on my mind. And I was hanging out with someone and they reminded me that I don't always have to respond, and then they even added some more context, like even some of the, like a lot of the most busiest people, the CEOs, the entertainers, that's why a lot of them have personal assistants, because at some point, because they have so much information constantly like inflowing to them, they don't actually have the time or the resource to be able to read or attend to every message that they receive. So what they do is that they delegate some of those responsibilities, such as reading emails or responding to emails, to assistants. And that's kind of how I feel that we all need to be able to treat our time, whereas we have to quickly be able to filter out messages that are important and messages that we can completely ignore. So I hope that you find this video useful. If you have any questions for me, please feel free to leave me a comment below, and please also remember to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.